There is one question that you will be asked on every single job interview you go on. Why do you want to leave your current role, or why did you leave your previous role? This question gets asked so often, most job seekers don't see the enormous trap it contains.
It's a trap!
In this video, I'm giving you the strategies to escape that trap. So grab a snack, boil up some coffee, and stick around to the end because you don't want to miss any of this. What's up guys, my name's Darren DeLuca and welcome to the Ramblin' Recruiter, the channel that's dedicated to helping you find the job of your dreams and make the most of your career. The first step on the path to those goals is to subscribe. Click the bell to enable notifications and you'll never miss anything again. Links and show notes are down below in the description, and there's some links to my tech down there as well, so go ahead and check them out. So, let's get into this, shall we? Hey, so you're gonna see me wearing two different outfits in this video. Sorry about that. I lost a whole bunch of the footage I shot, so a whole lot of it had to be done again. Without a doubt, the most commonly asked interview question is, why do you want to leave your current job, or why did you leave your previous job? This question is asked so frequently that most job seekers don't even think about it anymore. You should be thinking about it because how you answer this question is going to dictate the tone of the remainder of the interview. It's really important. How you deliver the answer to this question can have an enormous impact on whether or not you seem honest and genuine, or whether or not you seem bitter and jaded and obviously BSing. This question is usually asked very early in the interview while you are still in the formative stage. The hiring manager or recruiter hasn't yet made up their mind about you, and how you answer will have a huge impact on how they perceive you for the rest of the interview. Remember, most hiring managers or recruiters make their mind up within 15 seconds to 1 minute as to whether or not they want to hire you. And once they're set on something in their head, it's very difficult to dislodge them from that. Usually the remainder of the interview is only used to confirm those original thoughts. Now, regardless of your specific reason for leaving or wanting to leave, they all fall into three different buckets, which I will get into in a minute. While you're thinking about that, here's something else you should be thinking about as well: JobLift. JobLift is the leading online job aggregator with over 10 million positions posted that you can apply to right now. They also allow you to create email alerts using some of the best AI and machine learning out there. JobLift is a 100% free tool. There is no cost whatsoever. There is no trial membership that expires and you automatically get billed. There's no credit card required. Click the link down below in the description, create a profile, create some job alerts, and apply to jobs for free. Now, if you don't want to see a grown man beg, you may want to skip ahead about 10 or 15 seconds, but this is where I implore you to become a supporter of the channel via Patreon. My patron supporters get one-on-one job coaching from me. They have access to me 24/7, and if you don't feel like making the monthly commitment, or you can't make the monthly commitment via Patreon, you can make a one-time contribution to the channel via the PayPal link below in the description. Remember folks, I'm not selling courses. I rely on the support of viewers just like you to keep this channel going. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for the lookout. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, here we go. The reasons you might consider leaving your job, or you left your previous job, fall into three buckets. 1, a job loss that was not your fault. 2, a job loss that was your fault. And 3, no job loss at all. You're just looking for a better opportunity. Now, how you're going to answer this question depends on which bucket you fall into. In general terms, the job loss that was not your fault is the most straightforward answer of all. If you were laid off due to reduction in force, consolidation, merger, acquisition, redundancy, or the business just went completely out, they closed the doors, you're not at fault for that. So pretty much you get a free pass. The important thing to remember when a job loss is not your fault is to make sure all of your other answers to every other question you're asked on that interview point to the fact that you want that particular job. Not that you're out of work and you'll take any job, but the job you're interviewing is specifically the one you want. Just keep one thing in mind: layoffs, mergers, acquisitions, job losses that are not your fault are easily verified, so make sure that information is accurate. Also important to keep in mind, update your resume to reflect that you are no longer with that company. It's very confusing and actually creates red flags about candidates. When you see a resume that says to present on the most recent experience, then when you meet with the candidate, you find out they actually left there a month ago to a layoff. Some people see this as no issue at all. Some will consider it a little white lie. Some would consider it a red flag. So here's a really good example of an answer you would give if a job loss was not your fault. I really enjoyed my time with ABC Company. As you know, and probably read in the news, we were recently acquired by XYZ Corporation, and as a result, a lot of positions were redundant. They decided to keep primarily the HR group from XYZ Corporation, and my function was eliminated. I was hopeful to have an opportunity to interview for some positions internally before that happened, but unfortunately my time there did come to an end. Hey, check this out. Use the code on screen right now for $5 off. Now, job losses when you are at fault, in other words, you quit or were fired, are way too big of a topic to take on in the 30 seconds to 1 minute I have to spend with them on this video. They deserve a video all their own. Suffice to say, I believe that in this case, honesty is the best policy. If you were let go due to performance, gross misconduct, or anything along those lines, you are better off to address it head on, explain the situation, explain what happened, and explain what you learned and how you would do things differently next time. For example, I left XYZ Corporation because my performance was suffering and I was let go. It's not an excuse, I know, but I was right in the middle of a nasty divorce at the time, and unfortunately, despite my best efforts, my personal life situation was starting to bleed through to my work life. I recognize that this is not something that I can ever allow to happen again, and fortunately the situation is resolved and never will be a problem again. I have grown personally in this case. I've learned to compartmentalize those types of home issues and feel very confident that I would never bring anything like that to work again. In my career as a recruiter, I've probably interviewed 10,000 candidates, and I can guarantee you one thing. If anybody was that brutally honest with me and put that much vulnerability out there, I would move them forward in the process just for displaying that level of courage. So I really and truly think that addressing a job loss that was your fault head on, honestly, and demonstrating what you learned from the situation is the best way to go. Hey, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and very gently tap that like button and leave me a comment. The YouTube algorithm responds really well when my audience is engaged, and it helps spread the message to new people who haven't seen this channel before the more engaged you are. So thanks for that. Now, when you are gainfully employed and you have to answer the why do you want to leave question, nuance is the key here. There are a million different reasons why a person might want to leave their job and take on a new job. Usually they revolve around some similar core issues: lack of career growth opportunities, lack of compensation, and work-life balance type issues like working from home or commute, that kind of thing. Because there's so much nuance involved when you are employed but looking, it's almost easier for me to tell you what not to say than it is for me to tell you what to say. There are definitely some things you should steer clear of, like for example, do not badmouth your current boss or your current company. Reason is simple. Any hiring manager is going to think to themselves, if this candidate will badmouth their current boss, their current company, they'll badmouth me too. And negativity is like a cancer. It tends to spread. Most people don't want it on their teams. Do not say that you're looking for a promotion or you're looking for a raise. Don't say that you're looking for more quality of life or work-life balance. I can explain why in a minute. And by the same token, don't say you're looking for a better commute. I'll explain why. So the work-life balance and commute issues are a little bit complex. There are still a lot of old school managers out there, and if you lead off on an interview by saying, I'm looking for better quality of life, or I'm looking for more work-life balance, some people are going to interpret that as meaning I'm not looking to work as many hours, or I'm looking to work remotely more often, I'm looking for more flexibility. This can get a lot of people thinking down the wrong path, the path that you don't want them thinking down. Yes, work-life balance is important. Yes, the ability to be flexible and work remotely is important, and many people will agree with that. There are still some old school people out there though who won't, so you just want to be careful with leading off with that. Similarly, when you're talking about the commute, this is why you don't want to lead off with, well, my commute is bad, so I'm looking. Presumably, you knew what the commute was going to be before you accepted this job. Now, maybe you never actually had an opportunity to do it during rush hour. Maybe you thought you could do it, and over time, it's just gotten to be a drag. It's certainly understandable, but again, if you knew what you were getting into and you got into it anyway, you're only reinforcing the stereotype that long commutes make for bad employees. I mean, you can almost picture some old school manager thinking, well, this candidate came in here and told me she was looking for flexibility, so I guess that means she's going to be home with her kids all the time. While we all know that this isn't true, and while we all know that this is 2019, and those old school ways of thinking don't really resonate that well with candidates today, there are still a lot of people in positions of authority who think like this. So here's my final thoughts on the subject. This is a question that you can absolutely positively anticipate being asked on every single interview you go on. So what does that mean for you? That means that you should be rehearsing this question well in advance, many times, either with somebody at home or in the mirror. This way, you know that when you get on that interview and you are invariably asked, why do you want to leave, or why did you leave your previous company, you've got a pre-programmed answer ready to go. This way you know you're going to crush this question every time. Being prepared is going to prevent you from putting your foot in your mouth. Now, for those of you who are still watching, I've got a special announcement. Did you know that I, Darren DeLuca, the Ramblin' Recruiter, am running for president? That's right. Check it out right here, Ramblin' Recruiter 2020, because I am definitely probably a better option than all the others. If you want to support the campaign, and it is a write-in campaign, so you'll have to write my name in on your ballot. If you want to support the campaign, please consider becoming a supporter via Patreon or the PayPal link below in the description. Hey, check out this video down here. That's the one that YouTube thinks that you're going to like the best. And thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your job searching day. I'll see you next time.